Hey, Kevin, where are you?
Hello.
Oh, hey there.
Hi. As you can see, I got myself a new tool. I have been I've been thinking about getting a horizontal bandsaw for a while now because of some of the bigger things that I wind up cutting. Like the compressed gas bottles and big pieces of square tubing and what have you that just won't fit in my chop saw. So I finally settled on this model. As you can see, it's a Ellis, and it's a 1800 series. And no, I don't receive any compensation from Ellis for saying any of this. I just thought, hey, let me show off my new tool. Stop that.
Got an apprentice there today?
I got an apprentice here. Yeah, this is Pokie. She's the shop dog. Came down for a visit finally instead of sleeping under my desk at home. So, your basic horizontal bandsaw. You got a pair of trucks, I think they're called. Just a rubber tire on a metal wheel, and that's where your saw blade actually goes. So one here, one down there. This is an adjustment. So you can see it's got a little wheel on, a little bearing on top, and that's to keep the blade positioned correctly vertically inside there. And you can see another set of roller bearings right here. So these two, they position the blade side to side, keep everything all lined up and straight. Then there's another set behind the stop where your metal goes. So now you've got the blade, basically held nice and straight and even across where you're actually going to be cutting your metal. This front set of rollers, you've got a knob on the other side. You can just loosen that up and then slide this to make room for however thick of material you're actually cutting inside there. So we want to keep that down, pretty close to that 2-inch piece of pipe that I'm cutting right there, just so the blade doesn't have any excess room to twist. You want to keep it just as tight as you can so it's going to go straight down through. So one of the cool things about this saw, one of the reasons I chose it was, it's a miter saw. And like with my chop saw over there, you have to actually move the fence, move the stop, the fence that you put your metal in, and that's how you get your angle cuts. The blade always goes up and down in the same spot. Well, with this guy, the whole darn blade actually moves, and the table stays stationary. So your work stays stationary. And then it's got a nice degree wheel with a pointer on it, so you can get your degrees set just right. So on the other side of the saw, a couple of cool features over here. They have this hydraulic cylinder, and it's got a little adjustment knob right here, a little bleed knob. So all you have to do is crack that knob open, and you see the saw starts feeding all by itself. That's how you adjust the speed of the cut. Real thick metals, you want to slow it down. Real thin stuff, you can run it a little faster. But that's how it actually works up and down.
So it uses its own weight. You don't have to put a hand on it.
Right, you don't have to put a hand on it. That way it has a constant feeding pressure. You're not going to overheat the blade, dull it out quicker than you should. Cool feature. To take some of the human element out of it. Let the machine do it. It knows what to do. It's got a nice clamp right here. Just slide it in, and then just push down on the lever, and that works the cam just a little, forces it in just a little bit more. Metal's held, good and tight. One of the other things this saw will do, if you disconnect this cylinder with a quick disconnect pin, and then you pull the springs off the back of it, you would tip this whole head up vertically. So now the blade's vertical over here, and then it has a auxiliary table that you can put on it, and it turns it into a vertical bandsaw rather than a horizontal bandsaw for doing, like little cutouts and what have you. I haven't played with that yet, and I need to read the directions a couple more times before I know what I'm doing there.
So 110 or 220?
That's a good question. It'll actually run on either one. All you have to do is go inside this little box and switch some wires around and turn it into 220. Now, right now it's plugged into 110. That's the way it came, but you can set it up either way. So, what the heck? Let's cut something. So I got a piece of 3-inch diameter. It's a heavy wall. I think it's an 1/8 of an inch thick pipe that has this big old gnarly cut on it where I whacked it off with the plasma cutter. I just wanted to true that up, get rid of that ugly looking edge. So, good test for this. So let me put my glasses on and we'll fire this puppy up. Starting it up is really easy. You've got a panic button. So if something goes wrong, you can just slap it, machine will stop. This is the on button. Give it a push, machine comes up to speed. This is actually the off switch. And it's hooked into this bar that's got this little stop on the bottom of it. And when the machine comes all the way down and reaches this little shut-off bar at the bottom, so it'll actually push up on that little switch and turn the machine off. So all I got to do is just push that button, open up the bleed valve, and you'll see the head starting to go down. Not really sure how fast is too fast, so I think I'll err on the side of caution for a while. You know, until the blade breaks in, well, I get used to using how to use the machine. Sure is a whole lot quieter than the chopsaw. And it's really that easy. Of course, now the big question from the voice is, can I replace the chop saw with it? So this is my chop saw. I've got a couple of little tables on it with wheels. I've got this little door over here that just leads out to where all my bar stock is. So I can just pull it right in, roll it in, and cut it. So I'm really not sure. The idea of replacing this with the big bandsaw, with the horizontal bandsaw, so it's 65 inches from nose to tail. Now, in the cutting area is going to be out about here. So I have to move my table, have to move my shear, have to redo the hole in the wall. Don't know about that. You know, maybe we can get it in here sideways somehow. You know, get rid of the sink, we've already talked about that, but put a different table to it where I can bring stuff in, turn it, put it on, and cut it. You know, I've only had it for a couple of days. You know, that was like the third cut I've made with it, so still playing with it, still trying to get used to it, still trying to figure out just where is it going to go, how's it going to work in here. But I think it's going to be great to have it. You know, I'm going to enjoy being able to set it up, let it run, go do something else, let it do all the work that normally I would stand over here doing over here by hand. So let me get back to work. You guys have a good day. Oh, don't forget my newsletter. Come out to my website. Sign up for my newsletter. You get the chance. Have fun. We'll see you later. It's 65 inches.